Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2017 Porsche Macan S. This Macan S is showing just under 47,000 original miles. If you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll be taking on a quick condition overview on the interior and the exterior of this Macan, as well as showing you some of its most notable features. We'll start here on the exterior. Of course, a brilliant, bright white finish on this paint. Looking into some direct light, you can see the paint is in very nice condition. It's free of any water spotting, and only the most minor of imperfections showing in the clear coat. Now, as usual, I'll take you really close to the body so as to look for any dings or dents in the bodywork. As you make your way past the driver's door, you'll see no dents, and that condition carries on to the rear door and the quarter panel. The paint's in very nice condition over here on the driver's side. Now, of course, taking a look at these beautiful wheels, they really do stand out. Of course, those 20-inch Porsche wheels really accent the styling of the Macan well. And I love the dual finish with that nice gray paint on the interior of the wheel, and then the outermost face showing that kind of brushed metal finish. And absolutely no curb rash to be seen. At least no major curb rash. You can see a very small imperfection at the bottom of the wheel there, very minimal. And of course, hidden behind the spokes, you see those massive brake calipers for the front. Of course, promoting that really awesome Porsche stopping power that you'd be used to. Now, looking at the front fascia of the vehicle, you can see the headlights are beautifully designed. Really cool, these two sort of individual light pods, and the lighting technology is very impressive in the Porsche. And as you can see, the headlight lenses are showing no scratching or discoloration or oxidation. They have held up very nicely. Looking at all of the black accents here on the front grille, I love the way that these contrast with the white paint of the vehicle, and that also carries on to the window surround trim, as you can see there. And the front fascia, besides a couple of the most minor rock chips, is in very nice condition. You can see the fog light housings on the lower corners are both in great shape. And of course, making our way to the passenger side. Another wheel to look at here. You'll find absolutely no curb rash here on this wheel. And just the most minor marking on the top right of this wheel, but again, the wheels are 9 out of 10 condition. They really look phenomenal. Now I'll take you very close to the bodywork again, making our way down the passenger side of the vehicle. As you can see, absolutely no dings or dents to be seen. You can see on the lower portion of the door just there, on both sides, you do have a small little cutout of vinyl to protect the lowest and widest portion of the rear door. And that vinyl is there to protect the paint from any rock chips that may come from the front tire. As you can see, kind of pokes out a little bit. So that's a really well thought out protection from Porsche. Now here at the rear of the vehicle, you can see the taillights are gorgeous, really cool. And with the LED technology, they look very cool when they light up. As you can see, as I click unlock, provides a really interesting look here at the back of the Macan. You can see all of the chrome Porsche script and Macan badging. Looks phenomenal. And on the lower portion of the bumper, you'll see all of the black plastic for that lower diffuser panel. Looks excellent. And you do have these quad chrome exhaust tips flanking either side, just around that the towing accessory, as you can see there at the bottom. All of this is in just wonderful condition, and as you can see, the tires have loads of life remaining. Now let's make our way to the interior of the Macan, which is absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at how Porsche has spec'd this interior. Absolutely wonderful. Looking at the driver's seat condition, you'll find it to be very nice. The outer bolster, the stitching is just in perfect condition. Same goes for the lower. This portion of the seat under your thigh can be adjusted for maximum comfort, and as you can see, really cleans up the look when you close that back. And as you can see, the passenger seat as well is in very nice condition. So let's make our way inside. First thing you notice as you make your way into the Macan is this absolutely gorgeous steering wheel. That's very comparable to what you'll find in the 911, which of course promotes a really nice and sporty driving experience and feel for the driver. Now I'm going to start it up. Of course, the key is here on the left. If you're not familiar with Porsche, that'll seem strange. But that's actually a feature that dates back into their racing history at Le Mans, and it's very cool that they've carried that tradition on into the modern day road vehicles. So as you can see, gauge cluster fires up. I love how the tachometer is front and center with that nice flat gray backing. It provides a really cool contrast and really draws your attention to the gauge cluster. Here on the right, you do have a small and basic screen that'll show basic information. On this vehicle section, you can adjust what all 4 of those lines will show you. And using this wheel on the right of the steering wheel, I can show the individual torque split from the front and the rear. Of course, using that all-wheel drive system. You can see your media, phone controls, and a full color navigation display, which I find very interesting. And it's a very convenient location for that display if your center screen is being utilized for other purposes. As you can see, the buttons here on the steering wheel all look phenomenal and have their original text looking great. All of the controls work. You have these very nice shift paddles on the back of the steering wheel. As you can see from below, they are a very substantial paddle, so very easy to hit, and they have a nice satisfying pull and a click as you select through the gears. Looking into the center area here in the Macan, you'll find a beautiful analog clock just there on the dashboard. Very nice to look at. And of course, just below that is the newer generation of Porsche Infotainment, which I think looks brilliant. It's very responsive to the touch. As I select reverse gear, you'll find a nice high definition backup camera with a predicted path that will move as I rotate the steering wheel. Let's go back in park. You can see another full color navigation display available here, as well as all of your different media controls, radio, phone, etc., as you would expect. Making our way down into the center console area, you have these beautiful controls. Every single button is in immaculate condition and functions exactly as designed. You do have heated and cooled seats for both of your front occupants, which is very nice, and individual climate controls here right in the center. Of course, with your gear selector, nice leather wrap, and all of the other construction is metal, so it feels very nice in the hand. Here, just under this small cover, you do have a power outlet available. Parking brake just under that Macan badging, which I think looks very nice. Now, if you look just above my head, you will find a massive, massive sunroof taking up just about the entire roof panel on the Macan. It looks excellent. Neglected to mention that piano black trim that carries all the way across the interior. You can see it's got a beautiful shine to it, free of any major scratching. It all looks wonderful when contrasted with the silver accents all around. Lastly, of course, this vehicle is fitted with the Bose premium sound system. And not only does this vehicle provide a wonderful driving experience with those, world famous Porsche driving dynamics, but also that stereo just adds so much to the driving experience, as it would with any vehicle, pardon me. But another element of the Macan that adds a lot to the driving experience is what you find as you make your way under the hood. Now, this is a bit of a unique arrangement here with the hood. As you can see, as I pop the hood, it actually has these small windowed cutouts for the headlights. And as you can see, it actually lifts out, leaving the headlights in place. I find that really interesting to look at with the hood in its upright position. But anyway, let's take a quick tour, of the engine bay. You can see here the 3-liter V6 here in the Macan S. It produces 340 horsepower, which is just enough power to really make this thing feel sporty and aggressive as you go down the street. But what really just makes it complete, in my opinion, is the absolutely beautiful dual clutch 7-speed automatic gearbox. The shifts are unbelievably quick. It boggles the mind how wonderful that transmission is. It really is an industry standard example of what a transmission should be able to do and how it should perform. If you haven't driven a Macan, I highly suggest you do. You can see the engine bay is incredibly clean and clearly very well cared for. You can hear it idling very happily. All of the hardware there under the hood is very clean, and you can see free of any tampering. And these engines have proven to be very reliable. You can see things like the ignition coils are just there on the outside of the cylinder banks, not terribly hard to access. These vehicles are very efficient as well, and they just sound brilliant. Let's take a quick tour, of the second row of seating here. You can see the seats are in just wonderful condition. The leather all looks very nice. And here in the rear, you do have kind of an interesting climate control setup. You do have individual adjustments here. So the climate is determined by the climate up in the front, but if I would like it a little bit more warm here in the back, just takes 3 clicks. I have the availability of making it a little bit warmer than in the front, or I can make my way down and I can have 3 clicks towards the cooler side, which is very nice and convenient, of course, for your rear passengers. As you can see, I also have rear heated seats available here in the second row, and the door cards are equally well appointed to those in the front, which is always a nice thing to see. You have that beautiful piano black trim and the Bose premium sound speakers just there. Taking a quick look at the gorgeous arrangement here for the front occupants, and that absolutely stunning sunroof just above my head. You also have dual power outlets just there under those climate controls. And lastly, we're going to pop the tailgate here. I love the way they've integrated the control to open up the tailgate from the outside. Of course, you can also do it from the key and from the driver's door. And I was looking down here for a button. I couldn't really figure out how to do it until I noticed this very discreet panel, as you can see, just on the back of the wiper. So one touch on that button and it's going to open right up without hesitation. Works perfectly. You can see we have a nice big rubber mat to protect the original carpet underneath in the cargo area. You can see the rear seats. The carpet's in nice condition, and we do have original floor mats here in the back as well. Of course, just above my head, you'll find those buttons, one to close the tailgate and one to close the tailgate and then lock the vehicle afterwards. We're just going to close it down. You can see it operates exactly as intended. But it's a beautiful vehicle. It's in really nice condition. And as I mentioned before, the Macan really changed the way that I look at a mid-size SUV. The driving dynamics are unbelievable and really true to Porsche's history. I absolutely love the way they go down the road, and I really don't think anything in this segment quite drives like a Macan does. So if you're at all interested, I highly recommend at least getting behind the wheel and seeing how it feels, because it really did impress me. So if you have any further questions related to this Macan S, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you're going to find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much from AlphaCars.